on all weekend while we were here, man. Overwhelming the technology that is upon us, cats. Can you dig that? I tell you what was really overwhelming though was catching this band, Another Girl. Just tremendous. And Lynn Kelman is here with the rest of the band here inside the Hungry Ear. We've kind of transposed the Hungry Ear to another dimension. But you guys, really, it was. I said yesterday that if like Courtney Love and Sarah McLachlan had a baby and hired I don't know who, Veruca Salt as the nanny, maybe that would be the sound. A little Suzanne Vega thrown in. Actually, you have a tremendous sound. Explain to me what the band is all about and how you guys came to be.
Well, it's my solo project pretty much. I mean, I write and record and whatnot, and I need to get a band together to be able to perform. So I've been working with my bass player for a couple of years now, Chris Carl.
Hey, Chris.
And we came out, moved out here to the East Coast, and find an awesome rhythm section, or an awesome drummer and guitar player.
So where are you guys from originally?
From Canada, Vancouver.
Vancouver?
Yep.
And you're based out of where now?
Now we're right in Newport, Rhode Island.
Newport, Rhode Island. Oh, great town.
Yeah.
Very cool town.
Yeah.
Lots of very cool coffee houses there.
Oh yeah, lots of coffee.
So now, you know, it's, I don't know, maybe it's because of the success of Ani DeFranco and her taking control of her career. Is this the wave of the future? Is this now the thing that female artists are now coming into their own right by writing and producing and really kind of calling the shots as far as their careers go?
Well, I think it's important for all artists to do. I think maybe more female artists are doing it because, I mean, for me, I've been doing this for like, 10 or 11 years, and I just got sick of, sort of being forced, and this sexism and stuff in the industry. I just got tired of not sort of being taken seriously as a musician, more just as a girl in a band or, chick rock or whatever. And, I'm a musician, I'm an artist first. So.
Not just another girl.
Not just another girl.
So now tell me about the rest of the guys in the band. Who are you?
Matt Cullen.
And where are you from, Matt?
I'm living in Boston, Mass right now.
In Boston, and you are?
I'm Mike Levac. I'm from Taunton, Mass.
Now, how did you guys all hook up with Lynn?
Actually, friend of a friend of a friend found out that Lynn was looking for players, and a friend of mine knew Keith, Lynn's manager, and through that I got an audition, and I brought flowers and lots of gifts and a couple of bottles of wine, and she said, "You're in."
See, so there is something to be said about networking and bribery, cats, all right? Don't ever let anybody tell you that bribery doesn't work. You can bribe me anytime. So describe the sound. Like I said, I compared you to a whole bunch of people. That really isn't a very fair thing to do because you really have your own sound. Explain to people what the sound would typify.
That is really hard to do. I'm classically trained from when I was really young, and so I never really stick to one style. I like things to be different, and so I would say it's pop because I really like pop music. I like songs that stick in your head that you can't get out of your head. But as far as saying it's like anything in particular, I can't.
It is quite melodic, but it has some edge to it. There's some real bite to it. Now you were trained classically from I think you were like what, 8 years old or something? 5 years old you started playing the violin.
Yeah.
Did your parents have to force you to practice?
Yeah.
See, kids, all right, pick up your instruments, listen to your mom and dad, play that piano, play that violin, man.
Yeah, you can become a rock star, maybe.
How many instruments do you play?
Really anything I can get my hands on. How many instruments I play well is a whole other question. But I focus mainly with guitar, and I play some strings and bass and percussion. No good at drums though. Full kit. not me.
And on the record, you did like everything on the record. You wrote the songs, you sang the songs, you played. Is there anything that you didn't do?
Yeah, I had a lot of help. I mean, I had a number of different drummers come in. I worked with 2 other engineers, like mostly for recording drums, and then later on to record some additional vocals. So that's
Versatility is the key, though, huh?
yeah.
Well, the name of the album, Cats, is In the Galaxy. It's on RCA Records, and it is available all over the country. If you can't find it, then call RCA, call your favorite record store, and scream at them to get it. Do yourself a treat and check out Another Girl. Thanks for stopping down, man.
Thank you.
Thanks, man. Thanks. All right, Cats. We'll be back.
Okay, we can give it a shot. We're gonna run through it.
All right, man. You know what? Okay. All right, this is late night television, and I'm feeling like it's even later than it probably is. And my name's Matthew Cullen, and this is my friend.
How you doing? This is Michael Rack. Hi, my name is Chris Carlson.
I am Lynn Hellman from Another Girl. And you're watching Offbeat Cinema. Want me to do that again?
Welcome back to GX2000. This is Justin Gressley. We're here at the Channel 7 Cyber Show. We're here with Lynn Kelman from the band Another Girl. Lynn, tell me what it was like growing up studying classical music.
It was really interesting. It was a little stifling as I got older, but it was really interesting when it was happening.
And how do you feel you apply that to your current style of music today?
I think it just helps in my writing. I think it allows me maybe to be a little more free and creative. Like I write in like 6/8 and 3/4 and stuff like that time, rather than just 4/4 or whatever. And I never even really considered it until I started playing with drummers, and they're like, "Hey, this isn't a 4/4 time."
Right.
So.
Well,
I put it in my hat box. Yeah.
We could get into the music video now.
all right. So Lynn, tell me about the new music video you guys did for Growing Gold, and you directed it yourself, didn't you?
Yeah.
And you want to explain it a little bit for our viewers?
Well, it's just the song's about making it's growing gold out of the bad things that happen in your life. So it's about turning the bad things into good things. So and the idea for it, I mean, it was a really low budget video and everything. It was just kind of a trial and error thing. And so I staged it in this cabin, and it's kind of like, it's supposed to sort of be like somebody going a bit nuts, and they're, in their own heads, so they're in a really confined space. And so it's all done in this little tiny cabin. It was so hard to shoot. We were like, knocking into each other all the time, but it was fun, and yeah, hope they play it.
Do you want to do some more directing in the future on your own?
Oh, definitely.
You want to explain a little bit about the outfit tonight?
Oh, I always wear great outfits like this. This is tonight's Halloween, and I'm Dorothy. Just notice my ruby slippers.
We noticed.
Okay.
Cool. Well, good luck with the rest of the tour and the new album. It's called In the Galaxy.
Yeah.
And take care. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Let's. I just want to add a couple of things. Can you tell me about the message in your music? Is there any one particular message that you have to say to target? Like, do you write like, where do you get the inspiration for your music, and who would you say your target audience really is for your music? Or actually, you could just put it in question.
Gotcha. Where do you get the inspiration to come up with the music you do, and who do you feel it best applies to?
I think my inspiration is just pretty much everyday life, pretty much the things that I've gone through and the things that, other people go through. It's applicable everywhere, and it should appeal to anybody who enjoys it. I think my thing is to never cut away the possibilities in your life, cut away what you don't think could possibly happen, so you don't try for it. You always gotta aim really big in life and in doing what you like to do, and so that's what I hope comes across.
Great. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Is that enough?
That's great. Okay, and stand by, and rolling.
Hi, I'm Lynn from Another Girl. Don't go away. GX 2000 will be right back.
Great.
All right, now I have to ask you, Another Girl. That's the moniker of you in your band, or yourself, or?
I think me as a musician, me as the musical project, I call it Another Girl.
Uh-huh. And where's that name come from?
It stems from, well, it was first supposed to be Supergirl. Supergirl was the name that I chose and I used for quite a while before I started with the record label, and then they were insistent that I was going to get sued by DC Comics. So in order to avoid that situation, I had to choose something else, and it was really difficult because I couldn't figure, there wasn't anything else really that I thought suited me. But then my mom told me the story of when I was born, and first thing the doctor said was, "Oh, it's another girl."
Okay, so I guess you come from a big family, is that
well,
a good assumption?
Through marriage, but I have a sister, and then I have 2 stepbrothers and a stepsister, and it's one of those divorced and then divorced again, and then long-winded families.
All right, well that's great. Tell us a little bit more about your background. Where are you from?
I'm from BC, Canada. I started playing violin when I was 5. I grew up in southern Ontario and moved back to BC in my teens and started playing in a pop band that was on an independent label after I got out of high school. And because I wasn't so thrilled with the band situation, I started doing my own thing, my own recording and learning to play guitar and all that
Okay,
kind of
and
thing.
you actually, on your album now, you actually play all the instruments, is that correct? And produce it and do pretty much everything there is to be done with music?
Well, I do. I do a lot of it. I mean, I definitely had some help with the engineering and with co-produced a couple songs. We redid a couple songs later on with Mike Mancini. But it was based on my home studio. We're doing my own recording. My home studio was because that was the first way that I started really doing my own songwriting and my own playing. And as far as the instrumentation, I mean, I play the guitar and violin. I can play bass fairly well for my type of music, but besides that, everything else is pretty touch and go. And I didn't play any drums.
Well, I think
percussion.
that's probably more than most of us can manage, I have to say. That's pretty impressive.
Well,
how would you describe your music to those of the viewers out there who haven't had a chance to hear it yet?
If people ask me that, it's always a hard question. I would say it's pop music. That's pretty much what I would call it. It kind of covers a wide area, but it's pop.
Okay, and well, kind of to get a little bit more of a feel, what would you say your greatest influences are, musically?
Musically, well, I have quite an extensive classical background, so I would say, you know, anything from Beethoven to, and I was also brought up with a lot of calypso music in the house, Harry Belafonte and Steel Band, and Francois Hardy to later on, my biggest influence probably been Nick Drake and Nirvana, Ben Harper, Liz Phair.
Okay. And you also, if I'm not mistaken, you actually did some production work at Electric Ladyland?
Yeah, we mixed.
Okay. The old Jimi
most
Hendrix
of the albums.
studio,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
and you worked with Ron St. Germain?
Yeah, the Saint.
Yeah, so how was that? Tell us a little bit about that. Was that an experience for you? I mean,
Yeah.
was Jimi Hendrix an influence also? Or?
Well, you know, I'm not so familiar with a lot of Jimi Hendrix work, as horrible as that is to say here. Admit to, there's actually a lot of popular music that I'm not as familiar with as maybe other musicians are, but the vibe in that studio was amazing because a lot of studios I find are really, you know, they're what's the word for it? It's just kind of a
Clinical,
frigid,
or?
yeah, clinical.
Okay.
Yeah, very very frigid feeling and not. It's just hard to get comfortable because when you know go in to do a track and stuff, everything's all set up and then it's just like, okay, go, and you're kind of like, well, I don't feel groovy anymore. but there, I said after I came out, I did some overdubs and stuff there. I came out and I said to the assistant engineer who worked there all the time that I think the spirit of Jimmy was with me, and he said, you know, a lot of people say that about this place. So that was really cool. Working with Ron St. Germain was the best thing that happened to me through this record. I think he was really great to work with. He had a lot of experience and took the record, you know, to a place where I had wanted it to go, but I wasn't able to do it by myself because mixing is a whole different ball game than just recording it. So I recorded, you know, a whole bunch of messy tracks, and then we actually put them in some kind of order,
So you kind of
semblance.
cleaned it up.
Yeah.
All right. Now you actually recorded it. When you say you recorded it in your home, didn't you? Or you had your own little home setup. Well,
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, it's hard to say it's a home. I mean, it was a studio above a sweatshop, but I've, you know, always lived in these dives that I could use as a studio as well. And it was, you know, just made a soundproof room, and then got some, you know, gear in there, and it's a lot easier now for musicians to be able to do their own recording with the type of technology that's available. You can use a much smaller system and get a lot better sounding things, and it's cheaper, and so if you're willing to go through, you know, getting on the ground and finding out what wire goes where, you can do it. It was probably a little much to take on, but I'm glad I did it, and I wouldn't do it again, I don't think. Not to that extent.
Go back and ask Ron to help you out. You know? Here, could you connect this?
Ron, come here and plug everything in.
All right. Well, Lynn, it's been a pleasure. Your new album is coming. Is it already out in record stores, or what's?
October 14th.
Okay, and it's entitled
In the Galaxy.
In the Galaxy.
Yeah.
All right. It's been a pleasure having you on the show. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And coming up, we'll be taking a look at Dancing Bears. Stay tuned.
Thank you very much. Cue the bear.